go you can call Ohio State and say, did Boyce Watkins finish her PhD program? And they're going to say yes. Um, so because this is my area, I have to say, like, stop letting people make you think that there are people who can predict which stock is going to be the next big stock. Nobody knows which stock is going to be the next Nvidia. If I knew that, man, I would put all my money into one company and be done with it. Nobody knows which stock is going to be the next Apple. Nobody knows which stock is going to be the next Oklo. Nobody knows. And what's challenging for me is I have a bunch of people who never took a finance class in their life, don't have a degree in nothing, who will sit there and tell people, "Oh, buy this and buy that, and this stock is going to be big." And people will take advice from those. They'll have a cousin who with a GED who says, "Oh, I found a good stock you should buy," and we'll go buy the stock because your cousin said it. And I encourage you, just stop for a moment and ask yourself, is there any evidence that this individual has any stock picking capability? And if and I can tell you that as a person who's read thousands of research papers on this topic, they study this all the time. They constantly study whether or not you can look at some characteristic of the stock's past performance and predict what the future performance is going to be. And the answer is no. It's a whole theory. I think they won the Nobel Prize on it. It's called the random walk hypothesis. So what I told the brother was I was like, okay, boys, come on, because I admit I told you all about about the connection. Dr. Alicia in our Black Financial Therapy department is doing research on the connection between childhood trauma and our financial decisions, and what she's really exposed to a lot of us is how trauma affects you in so many other areas of your life. So I was heavily traumatized, so I have to monitor that. So I was like, okay, boys, let's not do a trauma response because I know you're angry. Let's try to be calm and make it clear because I get fired up when people just when I'm just it's like, why are we even having this conversation? Because I'm not going to debate with you over this. I debated my dissertation chair. That was traumatic enough. So the way I would describe it to you, if you even want to hear what I have to say, is that the way you participate in the next Nvidia or the next Oklo or the next Apple or the next Bitcoin is you create a diversified portfolio of a collection of assets that you believe have some chance of being the one that takes off, right? You cannot pinpoint the precise stock that's going to do it and put all your money into that stock. And also, you can't look at the stock that is doing well and say, "Oh, I shouldn't have put my money here. I should put all my money in the stock that's doing good. That was doing good. I'm gonna put all my money in that." Don't do that. You guys know I'm an investor in Tesla. I told you I don't give a damn about the politics. You could talk about that in the voting booth. I told you what I think about Tesla in terms of the robots and all the AI. We've talked about this. But I did meet a brother on a plane, 32 years old, and he was a millionaire. I was really happy for him. And we were talking about his investments. And he was into a lot of black wealth and financial stuff. So I had a COVID mask on, so I don't think he knew he was talking to me. And when I took it off, he kind of flipped out like, "Oh, oh my God, I didn't know you were a doctor." But it was interesting because he told me that he had 95% of his portfolio in Tesla. And I said, I said, I don't tell people what to do. I don't like to do that. I think you're a man, you can do what you want to do. But I think that's a bad idea. I said, because if Elon Musk slips and falls in the shower, then you lose 50% of your, or 30% or whatever of your wealth at that point.